Today we're changing the air filter on a Tesla Model 3 long range, and it's a 22 model. The tools you need is of course the trim remover that I have there. You can take away all different pieces from the dashboard to be able to access then the air filter, which is underneath the glove box. And you need to also to have a screwdriver with the Torx 25, because there's one metal screw and then there is I think 2 different clips that you need to unclip with the tool. And this would be a really easy job unless it wasn't so difficult to have this sort of you had this yoga lesson more or less at the same time. And I did it during the summertime, and I had my legs out with some sort of protecting underneath my knees, otherwise it would start hurting. And of course then you remove then this plastic cover from underneath the glove box, and there are 2 electrical connections. You can remove that altogether, or you can put it to the side if that is possible. But there, I've done it now 3 times, and that was a big hassle. Now this time I don't know why. So those connections you remove, then you can put it to the side. That's enough to have it on the side. And then you take away this trim from the middle console, and underneath that is where we have just pull it out. And of course you can remove the mat first, but I didn't do that, lazy. So take that out, and then you can see there is a slot underneath there, a lid, which then contains then the air filter. This varies a lot depending on the year. There's some of the early ones had a cable running through, but this 22 doesn't have, which is done in China. And there is one screw that is holding that together, and that is as usually super tricky to get on. I mean, I'm a mechanical engineer. I know fairly well my tools and everything else, but this was always a hassle. I don't know what it was. It's probably when you're filming something, everything would just fail at the same time. So, but nevertheless, there's one screw, and then just to remove that, so then it's easy. And then that is exactly what the lid looks like, quite simple. And then you just, there's a tabs on the air filters, and you pull out. There's 2 of these. So there's one, and you can see that how shitty that is actually from the other side. Of course, that was the clean side, and now that is usually clean. And this is 1 year, only 1 year in Finland with all the pollution and then the pollen and everything else. And then there's a second one underneath that. You need to lift it up a little bit, then just pull it out. It comes out quite fairly simple there. Yeah, like I showed, that were dirty, but they were dry at least. There wasn't any moisture on that part. Then I bought from Amazon this sort of bought some extension for my Hoover, and just hoover through if there was something debris there, but usually it shouldn't be, because I have the other filter on top of it underneath the front, which is more or less filtering away if there's some leaves or anything else going in. So those are not going in. And just clean everything up, and then have these MAN filters which have HEPA filter on them. There are possibilities to use other ones, but I use always this HEPA filter. That's really good, and there is no fogging or no other issues with that, and the airflow is really sufficient. And then you need to see to which direction you're putting those in, so you don't put it the wrong way in. But the flip and the puller on the right side is telling, of course, it's towards you. Then you just push it in gently, of course, and it sort of drops in below. And then you have the flip, this little small attachment there towards you, and then you take the next one, do exactly the same thing, but it goes on top of it. So we have 2 filters always. These could have been engineered a little bit better, but you know, that's life. But it's still super easy, and lots of people have used Ranger for this, and I understood that the cost wasn't that bad. I don't know, depending on where you are from, so just check it if you don't want to spoil your back or your knees with this job. So just put it in together and then put then the lid back on. And I put it on wrong way, of course. What else can you do? Okay, now just turn it around again so get it correctly. But nevertheless, so it's like it's fairly simple task in that sense. There is some struggling because you can't see shit in there. It's, of course, it's very dark also, but with the black trim especially, so just fasten the bolt. That's easy. That's the easy part of the whole process. And then comes the little bit tricky part, because in the middle of that, when you put the electrical cables in, there is a fastener in the middle, and where it's attaching to the underneath the glove box is very flimsy. So you need to actually put that first, because otherwise it's later on it's really difficult to push it in, as there's those plastic fasteners work, and that was a challenge. That was a hassle. So this is the hassle that I had, because I need to fix it again because it was not attached properly. So I need to do it again. Even though I've done this several times already, it's I don't know, it's always. But this is refreshing to do some physical work on your car. You don't have to do this sort of a cognitive work that I usually do in the office. So nice to have something done. And then pop in the trim, just check where that goes in, and just easily clicked in. That is super easy and super fast to put in. So the only thing you need to check that these are the fastenings are on the right location. Then it just clicks in and see that the mat and everything. Okay, I have this quite thick, this 30 millimeters mat on, so that of course have some small challenges. Now checking that everything is in place, and then we have this put in the screw, then clicking the plastic parts in there. So there is like 3 plastic and 1 screw, if I recall correctly now. I did this in June maybe, so the video has been it's sort of a video in that sense are now good that it comes out, because that is something I need to do in the near future again. And more or less. And then the trim back, and ta-da! Everything is nice. Thank you.